beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I am Angiela Gegg, and you're watching Influential Dubai. We're broadcasting from the VMCE TV studios right here in the United Arab Emirates. Having a media platform gives me a personal responsibility to use my voice and give back to society. I use my voice to send messages to my viewers, and I give back to society by inviting successful entrepreneurs, remarkable individuals, businesses, celebrities, artists, and entertainers onto the show. And today is no exception, as I'm joined in the studios with the co-founder of the Million Meals Project and the CEO of Airzai, Muneeb. Welcome to the show, Muneeb. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
It's great to have you on the show. But first of all, did I pronounce your company name right?
You did not.
Tell me,
Absolutely
I
not.
saw your face when I said it. Tell me.
Airzai.
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 Airzai. Okay, halas.
Airzai. So how you say my? So my Airzai.
Airzai.
That's it.
All right, viewers, it's Airzai. But hey, I'm Angie. I'm cute. I can do that.
You get a pass. You get a pass.
Usually before the show, I'm like, help me with pronunciation. Am I saying it right? But because we were so busy chatting
I know.
about the initiative, I forgot to ask you about the pronunciation. But I got it now, Airzai.
You got, now it's perfect. And I'm very happy that you got my name right, because sometimes, you know, it can get mispronounced as well. So it's
Muneeb,
all good. I appreciate it.
Great. Well, that I can get. That's, pretty standard, right?
Absolutely.
I live in the Middle East. Meet people all day, every day. So Muneeb is pretty, but Airzai. I like it though. Airzai is a really cool name. We're going to talk about that a little later. We're also going to talk about this initiative, the Million Meals. But before we do all of that, what I like to do is let my viewers know a little bit about the man on the chair. Tell us a little bit about you and what brought you to Dubai.
I've been a serial entrepreneur all my life. In fact, the funny story is that, when I was in university, most of my friends being in business school were just looking for accounting degree and then going into the big four, you have your Deloitte, KPMG and all that. I was like, gotta do something different. So being from a Brown family where the expectation is just being like a lawyer, accountant, doctor, and an engineer, it's like, we gotta do something different. And so we started a tech company while I was in university. And I was fortunate that literally within 2 years, right when we were graduating, I got an offer I couldn't refuse, and we ended up selling our first company. So that gave me an idea of okay, well, we are all capable of creating things of value.
Right.
And if we follow our passion and we do things that we enjoy, there is no limit to how much value you can create for others and for yourself as well.
But this was back in Canada, right?
This is back in Canada.
Okay, all right, cool.
Then we started a second company, grew that, again in tech, is a consumer app that we created, and we hit we did some amazing stuff. We had the second biggest market share in Canada because it was a consumer app. Then we did our third project, which is Airzai. Again, my passion project, based on, we'll talk more about it later, but based around fragrances, which I love. This region is all about fragrances. That's one of the reasons I'm in Dubai. Anywhere you go, you're just it's amazing vibe. So we did that, and this is one of the projects that I'm currently involved in. So you can call me a serial entrepreneur. Let's put it this way. I look for things that I'm passionate about, look for a market gap, go in and just go, just create something of value, scale it to a certain level, exit, and then rinse and repeat.
Okay, I love it.
Thank you.
That's very cool. No rinsing and repeating with the initiative, I hope. I hope that's something that'll be long-term, that'll be all over, that's something that's forever. Tell us a little bit about the Million Meals initiative.
There's a bit of a background, if I can walk you through it. It's it stems from my parents, actually.
Okay.
So both my mom and my dad, they just have a they just have a giving nature, right? So they're always looking for ways to just give back to people, from their time to charitable causes to even just hosting people, just the giving nature. So I've been brought up in a household where I've always seen just helping people out. And for me, it was always a dream to sort of do things where we're not only just putting in money, but we're doing initiatives, we're taking initiatives, we're doing things that can create impact on a bigger level.
Right.
So talking about the Million Meals initiative, so how it formalized, we've always been doing everybody does informal stuff, right? You give out the money to somebody, to a charitable cause and all that stuff.
Yes.
When I came to this region, almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, I feel that, and I started spending more and more time in UAE, I saw a very specific trend because in North American countries, like, especially in US and Canada, you have a concept of minimum wage. So like, everybody, even working at a coffee shop or driving a cab or doing delivery, they get paid a certain amount, let's just say 10, 15, or even $5 an hour, whatever it is standardized, right?
Right.
So you don't see most of this happening in those regions, but when you come to places like Middle East or like, places where there's a lot of blue collar jobs and you have a huge service industry.
Right.
What you notice all of a sudden is that there's a lot of people, a lot of beautiful souls, I like to call them.
I love it.
Right, who are here from their company, from their countries, and they have their families back home, and they're here for a brighter future for their families. So what they're doing is that when they're getting paid, whatever their salary is, 80%, 90% of the salary is going back home for
It's
their
not
families.
the full thing sometimes. I
It's
mean,
not
they're
the full
really,
thing,
yeah.
right?
the
And it's just the culture, right,
Yes.
of the region. And I started to just being like, just talking with people, like, if I order something from one of the delivery apps, a delivery driver, like somebody would come and give me the food or whatever, I would wonder that, okay, like if I walk through the process of what this guy went through, right? Of like, all I did was literally be in a couch like this, be lazy, maybe just be watching Netflix or whatever, and tap a button. Hey, you know what? I need some pizza.
Yeah.
What is happening behind the scenes? Like sometimes we take technology for granted, and even though I'm in technology, like I understand all the stuff that goes in behind the scenes, but even on the logistical level, and restaurant got an order, and one of the delivery drivers got a prompt. Now they're somewhere else. They have to go to the restaurant, pick up the pizza, and then drive back and give it to me, right? In a nutshell,
Right.
But for doing all of this stuff, they made a certain amount of money, right? Normally it's per ride, and they have to take on the dangers of being on the road, on a bike. You've seen the size of the cars here. The highways are huge.
Yeah.
So they did all of that to make living for their families. So I started talking with them, like, just connecting with them, starting from that. And then, of course, like, we have help around the house. We have maids. So we have like people who are washing the car and stuff. So just a good conversation. You strike up, and again, when you start talking to them, you get to know their story.
Right.
Not a lot of, and I encourage my friends and people as well that I come to the region that connect with the help over here.
Yes.
And you would notice their stories are beautiful,
Yes.
right? And when you talk to them, they're like, yeah, like I have 2 kids, or I have a wife, or this and that. And they're still very happy and grateful for the opportunities they have. That's one thing I love about it, right? But then when I started talking to them, like, okay, well, like, like I got the meal. What are you going to have for dinner? And most of the times it was just like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I'll probably have, I think for me, the moment where I realized I needed to do something was that, like, one of the guys was like, yeah, like, for past 1 week now, I've just been having some tea, like karak, which is like 1 dirham over here, and a pack of biscuits, which is another like 1 dirham, which is like, what, 20 cents.
Yeah.
So he's having a meal, like literally a tea and some biscuits for dinner. I'm like, but that's not nutritious at all. Like, there's no nutrients in it, so sure, it will like fill you up. So I'm like, how about, so like, I don't know, I give him some change. I'm pretty sure. My thought process was, I think he's not going to buy the meal. He's probably going to save this and send it back as well.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
Right? So I'm like, you know what? I don't think, and I joked with him. I was like, you know what? Let me walk with you to the restaurant and buy you something,
Yeah.
right? He's like, no, sir. It's be an inconvenience. You know what? I'll just go. And I'm like, you're not going to spend this money on food. I know that. You're just going to save this, right?
Yes, yes.
So then I was like, okay, come back next week. And I'm like, okay, what I need to do is this. I'm going to go to a shop. And I've always seen like they're doing like, because like, our Pakistani and Indian and even in Arabic, like, there's like this dish called biryani.
Yes, yes.
All my biryani lovers here, right? So, like, you have like rice with meat. It's a good full meal.
Yes.
So like, I was like, okay, there's one of these restaurants that I love getting biryani from. So I talked to the owner. I was like, hey, can you pack me like packages, like, just put up some meal and make me a package which is good for one person.
Right.
So you do like a serving of rice, we do some dessert, and then we do, it's called the laban, right?
Laban, yeah, of course.
Laban, right? So
Yeah.
we do because it's nutritious, it's like, it's
Yeah, laban
cool,
is
it's
great,
good.
yeah.
I'm like, make me a package of this. We negotiated on a price, I don't know, it was like 10, 12 dirhams, whatever. And I'm like, okay, and like, I need like 30, 40, 50 of these, and like, I'm gonna go out and start giving out to people. I literally, like one Sunday evening, got a friend of mine, like, we went, we grabbed it, put it in our car, in our trunk, and we just drove up, and then we're just like, we would see people, hey, would you like some food? And that's it.
Yeah.
Now, there is sometimes a little bit of hesitation too because they think like we're giving leftovers or something. I'm like, this is
Yes,
fresh
I've
meal.
had that happen to me as well when I've been giving, like, I wanted to give something.
Yeah, and they
is
wouldn't
it fresh?
accept.
And I'm like, of course it's fresh.
Yeah, or they're like, is it leftovers? Because of course they have their own pride
Yes,
and all that
yes, yes,
stuff. I'm
yes.
like, look, this is the food that I'm gonna have. I love this biryani place. Like I'm gonna probably have this as well. So this is what I'm getting for you. So I want you to have that feel. So one pattern that I noticed was like a big smile,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, well, what are we doing here? Like we're not like our agenda is not fighting hunger. For that we need to go to different countries.
Agreed.
Like I'm positive in a country like UAE, nobody's sleeping hungry. Like,
Right,
you know, there's this,
right.
like people are having their food, but how can we bring happiness?
Yes.
So that's where, and me being an entrepreneur, where I like to build initiatives, I like to get more and more people involved. Other side of it was that my friends that I talk to, especially living in North America, when we want to get involved in charitable causes, there's no initiatives where like we can see a direct result of the dollar that we have spent. This is an important point because there are big initiatives. You have Red Cross, you have UNICEF.
Absolutely.
And they're working on big initiatives and there's controversies and things that come around as well. But if I can know that the dollar that I give, if I gave $100 or $200, if it get converted into a direct hot meal getting served to somebody who wants to eat, that's where the loop gets completed, right? So that's where my friends in Canada, I shared with them, yeah, I was just out giving out food. They're like, whoa, can I put in my bunny too?
Yes, yes.
So this is so organic.
Absolutely, and that's the reason I invited you on the show because, of course, I knew about this before Ramadan, but because it is Ramadan, it's a spirit for giving. It's where everybody, just the love is so much more abundant now. I thought this was really important to have you on to talk about it. But moreover, I want to know, is the initiative actually happening during Ramadan? Are you doing it at iftar time or what's happening right now?
It is.
Okay.
So that's a great point you mentioned because our website, actually official website, went live 1st of Ramadan.
Okay.
So, and it's muneebmushtaq.com/millionmeals.
Okay.
And so we took the website live because up till now it was very like manual. So people were just calling me or WhatsApping me, hey, I'm just gonna like send you e-transfer, like an email transfer and stuff like money, like whatever. So it wasn't like properly done. So now we are setting up an organization. We have
Nice.
taken website live. What I feel is this. So in Ramadan, now this is, and that's why I like to do things a little bit differently. Everybody wants to do iftar. It's literally, it's readily available. Like, you know, there is a lot
So
of...
perhaps you do sahur.
Exactly.
I love
Right? So like
Brilliant.
everybody's making you sit in
Love
iftar,
it.
even like everybody's doing it, right? You can literally, it's not,
true.
it's not. But suhoor, everybody's sleeping, everybody's tired. Like, you know, how do you manage the suhoor? So I was like, okay, we got to do things differently. So we went
Love
for
it.
suhoor. So we're doing suhoor initiatives. And the main idea behind all of this is we want to bring happiness to people. And when we put a target on ourselves, because we've already done almost 5,000 meals.
Okay.
It's done. It's
I was
very
going to
recent.
ask at this point, how long ago did you start this initiative? It's recent, right?
It's very recent. It's less than, I would say, it's been like 4 or 5 months so
Amazing,
far.
amazing.
And it's literally me.
That's a good number to hit from just having it yourself, not doing much press, not having news. Like, it's just been you talking to friends. That's an amazing.
That's how we talked about it too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So organic. And that's even before, because I think we were meeting, I was a Sunday, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go and do this thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you know what happens is that's another part of it, and a lot of my friends want to get involved this way too, because they're like, okay, giving money is easy. Like we're all giving charity for charitable causes and stuff. I was like, I want to invest my time.
Yeah, but also when you said it to me, like I told you, I called you that night because I felt so good. I actually went home and I spoke to my security guards and I said, guys, I want to buy you guys dinner. And their reaction was so like almost overwhelming. They were so happy for me to buy them this food. Like when I said I was going to buy like, you know, bucket of chicken from one of these shops. So they were like, what? They got so excited. I was like, whoa. So I bought all the guys, I counted up the security guards, bought them food. I felt so good. I messaged you immediately about it. I was like, it was the best feeling to do that for them. I mean, this little thing that I did meant so much to these guys, and it's amazing how we take these things for granted, you know, like what a bucket of chicken from KFC is like 120 dirhams. It's not, you know, but for these guys that was a really big deal. So
It is a big deal.
that's why I really, like I said, having you doing this and what you're promoting, I think it's so good because not only are you driving towards the million meals, but other people around you are going to be inspired and do little things here and there on their own.
They are. And you know what? That's why you got to spread the word. And I'm
Right.
very appreciative that, like, you know, you took this initiative to invite me here for
Yes,
this, because
yes.
a lot of time people say, oh, like, you know, if you do a good deed, you don't have to talk about it, or you don't have to
You
like
do because you spread the word and you make
like,
other
you need to-
people interested.
Yes, inspire other people.
You have to inspire other
Yes.
people that you're doing good. Yes, a lot of people will say, oh, if they're doing good, they shouldn't talk about it.
Don't
No,
show off.
because guess what?
Yeah.
Other people hear it and they're like, well, I should do something similar. I would have never have gone home that night and ordered food for my security guys had you not told me what you were doing. So absolutely, it's like a domino effect of good.
Of goodness,
It's
exactly.
a positive domino effect. And yeah.
And we
no.
got to spread the word 100%. And especially the story that I
Agreed.
have of being so new in Dubai, coming from Canada, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of people think that, like, okay, how can we get involved in something like this? So for somebody like me who can do it, just imagine the possibilities for people to do goodness in their own way as well,
Yeah.
if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or through us, like, you know, that's what we want to do.
Even
So-
outside the MENA region.
even outside the mean, of course, anywhere you want. And you know what, that's so, and you know, it all starts with setting a target as well. And I think anytime you do anything in my life, like, you know, again, being an entrepreneur, you have to dream big, you have to think big, but you have to give yourself realistic goals. Like, you know, we have all talked about like smart goals and stuff. So when you think about it, like when I sat down with my team and we're discussing this, we're brainstorming, I was like, okay, I want to create a concrete initiative where people would understand what goal we're working towards. Is there a timeline behind it, and how do we get there? So now what we're doing is we're doing the million meals that we want to achieve in next 36 months, within 36 months. The pace that we're going at, I think we're going to hit that. I think we're going to hit way before that. It's actually inspired by one of the initiatives that is done by Tony Robbins, who's doing 1 billion meals.
Oh, wow.
So, and he actually just recently hit 1 billion meal mark.
Amazing.
So again, like I love to give credit where it's due, because, like, you know,
Yes.
it's amazing, because when he's doing it, he's openly contributing it. It's inspiring other people to take initiatives on their own way. So I'm very excited about this initiative. And
So we started with Dubai. Are we
Yes.
planning on any other countries?
We
any other countries in the
are.
pipeline? Tell us about that.
We are.
Exciting stuff.
So I have a lot of like Dubai is amazing, UAE in general. Then Saudi, it's my birthplace. I love that like country in general. So much
Yes,
progress happening. I have
yes.
friends over there. We're looking at Qatar. And then I want to bring this initiative to my home country, which is Pakistan. Over there, the initiative is going to be a little bit different, because there's real poverty over there.
Right.
And like, you know, bringing
Right.
the actual meals, and especially from the kids' side, like their nutrition and stuff. Because right now I'm in health and wellness industry with our Airzai project as well. So I'm very focused on seeing how can we create these nutrition meals that can actually bring value to people. So we have negotiated a deal with a kitchen over here in Dubai.
Okay.
We're doing the similar thing with other regions as well. And so we were just very excited to, like, you know, just make it official and now expand it as fast and as quick as possible, and have as many people involved with this initiative as possible.
Sounds great. I love it. I love it. It's such a good
Thank you.
initiative. It's such a good time right now during Ramadan to also be for us to be spreading the word. And I wish you the best of luck with that. That's just going to be amazing. And of course, like I said, for me, being able to have you on the show to talk about it, to support, to promote, it's also very important.
No, thank you so much. And like, you know, as many people want to get involved, and there are different ways you can donate.
Yes.
And that's the best way to do it.
You can volunteer.
You can volunteer if you like. We're setting the precedent for like how we can actually have more volunteers, because
Right.
like, you know, when you invest your own time, that's great. And the third thing is spreading the word. So
Right.
like, you know, if you can share this initiative, your interview is going to go live as well. Like
Yes,
for people who
yes.
can share this on their socials, spread the word. Angie's doing a great job bringing awareness to this. And like, you know, like if we can bring more awareness to this, that would be excellent. Like that's what we're all about.
Goals. Goals. I love it. Why don't we talk a little bit about Airzai? So you have this obviously is Airzai is your company, and then this came along, and that's you have so much going on. Tell me, you've talked about Airzai, but I want to know exactly what is it?
Sure. Okay. So I like to keep it in a very, because it's a very good project. It's a very consumer-faced product. And
Okay.
like the easiest way to do is like, you know, I ask 3 questions from the person, and they completely understand the whole concept.
Okay.
So my number 1 question to you is, have you used any diffusers, any candles in the
asking me?
past? I'm
Me,
asking you.
Angela Gegg, me.
Yeah, you're on the spot. You're on the spot now. I'm
All
interviewing you now.
Turn the interview
I'm
around, guys.
interviewing you now.
Let's do it. Okay, so yeah, ask me in like an interview way, Angela.
Okay, Angela.
Angie,
So
I have you. Like,
we will be formal.
okay, listen.
Angela, do you use any candles, any diffusers at your home?
I do not use candles. I don't like candles. However, I do use diffusers.
Diffusers. And have you used aromatherapy in the past, where you've used a certain essential oils to drive certain things, for example, to help you sleep better, meditate better, get energized?
During
any of that sort?
massages, I certainly do use essential oils when I go for a massage.
That's wonderful. Now, my final question to you is, when you walk into a hotel, that's one amazing thing about Dubai. You walk into any 5-star hotel and you get blasted with this fragrance.
Not even just hotel, everywhere. Developer's office, regular, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Amazing.
Everywhere, right?
I love it.
But especially the luxury hotels that
yes,
you go in.
it's beautiful.
What if we can bring this experience to your home with wellness and health benefits? This is
Very
what
good.
Airzai is.
I love it. Oh, cool.
Right?
Ah, so good.
So we saw a market gap where there's so many, essential oils are great. Candles have been around for thousands of years. Diffusers, they're very tedious. You have to put in water. You have to put droplets of oil.
Yes, extremely tedious.
And in the best case scenario, you got it as a gift probably, or you give it as a gift to somebody and they use it a few times, and if they didn't really understand what is going on, if it's too tedious, it's just sitting there eating dust. It's a nice showpiece like one of these pieces over here.
I'm laughing because in my house, there's the diffuser as you walk in, which probably hasn't been topped up with the water and the oil for a few months.
There you go.
Because I'm too lazy to do it.
There you go.
Oh, it's a hassle. Take it, pour it, put it back. It's a hassle.
So that's exactly, so being somebody who loves fragrances, I was like, okay, how can we revolutionize this industry where we love the fragrances, there's so many health benefits that you can drive from certain herbs, certain...
Yeah, I'm a eucalyptus girl myself.
Eucalyptus,
I love it.
lavender, patchouli, bergamot, all of these, they have very good benefits, right? That's where Airzai came into formation from us, where we were like, okay, you have a coffee maker, right? For example, an espresso machine, right?
Yes.
It's sitting there. Whenever you want a coffee, you take a pod, you pop it in, you make yourself a cup of joe, right? It's that easy. Why can't we do that with fragrance where, you know what?
Love it.
It's just sitting there. It's connected with your phone. It's working on its own. It even knows, it's so smart, it knows Angie's schedule. When is she waking up? When is she going out? What does she prefer? What time of the day would she prefer? What scent? It knows all of that. And it just caters to your preferences.
This is amazing.
It's done for you.
I love it.
You don't have to
Where's
interact.
mine?
You'll get one soon. It's coming out. We're launching very
Where's
soon.
mine?
We're
Let's
starting
go.
to ship.
LFG.
You're sold. You're sold.
I am. I'm sold already. I love it.
And the beauty of this is that we wanted ultimate premium materials from the time it's built to the ingredients that we have. So our chief designer, his name is Fred Bolt. We talked a little bit about it, in the makeup room about how we just wanted to make sure that everything that we are doing is premium. And so from our chief designer, Fred Bolt, the guy who's done things like Roku TV that we talked about, and GoPro camera, he's our chief designer, to everybody else in the team. We've picked the best people in their own specific niches who are coming in and bringing the value to the company. So we're so excited to bring this product to the market.
And I'm assuming being in the Middle East, you're going to have some oud scents.
We do, yes, of course.
You have to have oud,
I love oud myself.
Cambodian is my favorite.
And you've seen all the top brands, especially every time I'm taking my flight back at Dubai International Airport, I go to from Tom Ford to Chanel to anything, I'll just look at an oud fragrance and I take it. So we're definitely going to have an oud fragrance as well.
Amazing.
And aside from oud, we're actually doing, one of our scents, I'll give you an example. It's it's called white tea and jasmine. Let's take white tea and jasmine because we talked about massages and spas, right? Yes. So the experience that you get, white tea is known in Chinese culture thousands of years ago. It's known for anti-inflammatory properties. It helps you in soothing your nerves, and it helps you in just relaxing. And then jasmine itself, it's a sweet scent, it's a very floral fragrance, and it just helps you in making your mood better. So not only we have natural white tea and jasmine in the fragrance, we have a tech aspect as well, because the ingredients that we're using are strategic partnership with one of the biggest fragrance houses in the world called Firmenich. It's neuroscientifically proven ingredients that are helping you achieve the mood that you want. So if you want to sleep better, if you want to relax at night, you want to unwind, you want to meditate, you just turn on, literally your app knows. You go to the app, you just select white tea and jasmine, it starts. You can open up your meditation app, or you just go into your senses. It's going to help you in meditating or sleeping better.
This is so cool. I love it. I had no idea. This is really cool. Like, I
Thank
know
you.
you were working on something big, but we never really got into the details of it.
And now you know.
So I love it. That's why, no, I was waiting. I didn't want to know too much. I wanted to find out all about it on camera. Because a lot of time I research the guests when they come on, but sometimes when you're talking about positive aspects, and I knew this was going to be a positive show, talking about the meals, talking about you had something cooking with what you were doing, I wanted to hear about it here.
Oh,
So
for
it's
sure.
really cool.
Thank you. And you know
Yeah.
what? I feel that the main idea behind it, and you would find this very unique, is that how can we merge technology with health and wellness?
Yes.
So there is another project. This is in stealth mode right now. I can't share much details that we're working on. It's all about health and wellness and technology. So if you can merge that together, you have seen how fast AI is growing right now with like ChatGPT and all that stuff. That's a topic for completely another session or
I had
another
it
talk.
last week. We were last week.
We were talking about that. Okay, so you know you've seen
We
so your
do
audience
AI.
knows about how
Yeah.
like AI is growing now. So how can we leverage AI for the good from the health and wellness side?
Right.
So you know it's helping you in so many ways, the generative predictive models and all that stuff. But we're trying to leverage AI on the health and wellness side. So very excited to bring so many things that are brewing internally within our team to the world.
Yeah, so Dubai first and then the world. I love it. So you have a quote that you say, become addicted to progress, not just achievements. I love it.
Yes, and you know, this is something that I keep reminding myself as well. It became sort of my mantra because, so I'm a big believer in looking up to your mentors, right? Everybody in their life needs to have mentors.
Agreed.
I'm a big advocate of that. And I'm very fortunate to have mentors who are billionaires who have had like multi-billion-dollar exits with their companies and stuff, and they're super successful in their life. When I was young, and as I told you, I started super early with my university and all that stuff, right? One thing I used to do was I used to give myself a lot of hard time about, oh my God, I haven't achieved this, I haven't gotten to this point. And you know, we've been ingrained with this thing, oh, millionaire by 25, or I want to be married and have kids by this time, and I want to be doing this and that. Everybody has their own specific goals.
Right.
And the thing is that we give ourselves so much hard time for not hitting those goals that we have set ourselves.
Agreed.
There is no timeline, right? We have a lot of time on our hands, right? So one thing I talk about is that you have to judge yourself based on the progress you're making. So when you start making progress, so all you're doing is you're competing with nobody else in the world except for yourself. The real competition is with yourself. So every day you're waking up, you're looking yourself in the mirror. The first thing you need to do is do gratitude. So you have to like give gratitude. You have to be grateful for the fact that you just woke up in the morning, because 150,000 people did not wake up. From yesterday to today, 150,000 people on average die in the world. So you're alive. That's the
Yes,
biggest thing.
yes.
Once you're done with that, you look at yourself from what you were yesterday to what you're going to be today. So if you can be even 1% better from yesterday, that's progress. That is the biggest achievement you can have. So like when people get into that mindset, that's where magic happens. That's where you achieve a lot of bigger things in
Totally
life.
agree. And gratitude is always, to me, number one. Like you were saying, you wake up and you're so thankful that I'm here, I'm alive, I woke up, I'm breathing. You know, so gratitude for me is always huge.
And it's always in the basic things that we
Yeah.
overlook, that we take for granted, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, just the fact that waking up, that we're still breathing, we still have,
Absolutely.
again, health, number one. And then after that, like, you know, just the things, you have to count, literally, like, you know, I read it somewhere. That's another thing. I read a lot. I didn't used to. I started putting myself out there and I started reading. So last year I did 55 books. So I read 55 books. This year I'm on track to read 60 books.
I love it.
It's not about the quantity. It's just the fact that you want to consume as much information as possible, as much knowledge as possible.
Agreed.
How can you do
Agreed.
that?
Agreed.
Right? And reading books is just like, it's generations of knowledge, like cramped up into like literally a small package that you can just consume, right? So what I feel is that, like, you know, when you start connecting with your basic stuff, right? Like, you know, your health, you have a bed, you have a roof over your head, you have clothes, you have food in your fridge.
You have food, and exactly
food in your
why you're
fridge.
giving back and doing the Million
With the Million Meals
Project.
as well, exactly.
So tell me quickly, if somebody wanted to help, you said you have your website has just launched on Ramadan.
Yep.
What's that website again?
So the website is muneebmushtaq.com
Yes.
slash million meals.
Million Meals.
That's it.
Okay, fine.
So you go over there, we can probably put it in their thing as well.
They
And
can find it out. They can help if anybody wants to
Yes.
be a part of
So-
this, volunteer.
yes.
You can go directly to the website.
So you can donate directly. And then we have so one thing I did is I got my team to actually put in a contact form, because
Okay.
if you even want to get involved in initiative, because there's no hard and fast rule here. Like literally, I like to create things where it's collaborative, where we have a good feedback loop. Even with my companies, I like to talk to my customers directly, have a chat with them. How can we improve on it?
Right.
So even when I share with my friends, such as yourself, like, you know, I'm like, Angie, how can we improve this?
Yeah.
Okay, I started this initiative. We put the groundwork. Now, how can we improve on it? So anybody who has ideas around this, how can we blow it up even further? How can we bring more goodness to this? Why not? 100%, because this is a collaborative effort to bring happiness to people who are just working so hard for their families, for a brighter future for themselves.
I love it, Muneeb. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on this.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Thanks for bringing all this positivity, spreading love and cheer this Ramadan, and million meals giving back. That's really, really important.
That's what Ramadan is all about. And you know, one thing that I feel, especially in this region, is that the spirit of Ramadan is very high. Doesn't matter if you're observing it or not. It's just the energy is all about being kind to others.
Yes.
Being empathetic. I think that's one of the things that I focused on the most. I think being nice to people, being nice to others, that's the most important thing. And then whatever is in your power, your time if you can contribute, your efforts, your money, your network, whatever you can bring to the table. This month is kindness on steroids. That's what I like to say.
Absolutely. I love it. Kindness on steroids. I love it. Guys, well, on that note, thank you so much again for joining us. This was amazing. Everybody, you know where you can find him. And if you guys would like to help, you know what to do. Join the initiative. Join Million Meals Project. Join and see what you can do to help. All right, guys, thank you so much. That is all the time that we have for today. A big thank you to Muneeb for coming on to the show. We look forward to seeing more of this, to having this, you know, hit everything in the news, to having more people help, to have this initiative just grow and be fierce and take over. I love it. Not just Dubai, but like you said, all over. Broadcasting for influential Dubai, I am Angiela Gegg. See you guys next time, same place, and Ramadan Kareem, everybody watching.